I'm going to be revealing the ATL money glitch in today's video. Now, the ATL money glitch has been a term that's been going very viral recently, and the term kind of went viral because of all these people who are buying Hellcats and Trackhawks and etc. Just very nice stuff like clothes and chains. Y'all see, I just bought my Trackhawk the other day, so I know a little bit about the ATL money glitch. And you guys are probably wondering, how are these youngins doing this? Well, I'm gonna let you know right now, they're not scamming and they're not doing something illegal. It's actually a very legal business model. So in today's video, I'm gonna be revealing exactly what it is and how you guys can do it as well. So then you can go ahead and get you a Hellcat or Trackhawk or whatever car you want, or chains, clothes, whatever you want to do with your money. So without further ado, let's begin. So have you wondered what business these teenagers and people in their 20s are doing to get all this money? I mean, they make more than doctors and they're only teenagers. Are they scamming? Are they doing something illegal? No, they're not at all. So what are they doing, you may be asking yourself? Well, in this video, I'm going to be revealing the best business models for beginners, aka the Atlanta money glitch. This is the same secret business model that these teenagers and people in their 20s are doing to be able to afford all these luxury cars, chains, and etc. And there you guys can see me with my Trackhawk. This is the same business model I did to make 7 figures at the age of 18. The same business model that allowed me to take my family on vacations that we always dreamed of. The same business model that allowed me to drop out of school and live a life of freedom. And this is the same business model my student merchant used to buy his dream car. And lucky for you, I'm not gatekeeping in this video. If you stick with me throughout the entire video, I can guarantee you'll have a different outlook on business and be able to finally understand how you can also be like everyone else using this business model. You'll learn how I helped one of my students, Ryan, who was 18, go from 0 a month to 5K a month to 10K a month to 30K a month in less than 90 days. And now Ryan has crossed over 6 figures with his brand. So before we begin, make sure to put your phone on D&D and focus up, take notes, and watch very carefully. And I guarantee you'll thank yourself later for it. And if you watch until the end, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on hitting 10K a month, but trust me, the guide will not make sense if you don't watch the video. Now, in case this is the first time you ever heard of me before, my name is Yad. I'm a 19-year-old self-made entrepreneur, a clothing brand owner, and all my money has been made online. I have never had any inheritance, I have never had people investing into my business, and I have built everything from scratch and on my own. And truth be told, it's no secret that I've profited massively from this ATL money glitch. In fact, I've been able to do consistent 100K plus months and help others do it. Don't believe me? We'll take a look. And these are some screenshots from my brands right here. But you're probably wondering to yourself, is this possible for you? Or is this the best business model for you? And yes, it is 100%. But I have to be honest with you. Just because I'm getting good results does not mean you will right away. I have spent my youth learning and enhancing my business skills. So I was able to advance my progress faster than someone who has never done anything, which is why I was able to scale to 7 figures in around a year's time. So you will not scale to 7 figures in your first year unless you're just a fast learner and understand the framework perfectly. But what I can teach you is how you can get to 10, 20, or even 50K a month with this business model. So you can get you a Hellcat or Trackhawk or whatever car you want at a young age. Just like I taught Navek, who was 18 years old and did $28,000 in a single week doing this business model. Or Nas, who was 17 and was able to do 30K in a single month following the framework I'm going to go over today. And nobody has taught this business model the way I'm about to show you before. It's an entirely new angle. Now, I know a lot of you guys have never learned about business before, or probably never even looked into starting a business. And you might go on YouTube and see tons of business models and feel overwhelmed. Like there's business models like SMMA, sales, drop shipping, and other types of businesses. And these business models are not bad, but they're just not scalable. And if you want to buy expensive stuff in your life and live a life of luxury, you need to be able to have a scalable business that can make you tons and tons of money. Now, before we get into things, I want you to know my life did not always look like this. Unlike most of these influencers teaching you how to start online businesses, I did not have millions of followers or even thousands of followers like they did. I started as a random person nobody knew or cared about. So let's go over a quick recap of my journey. So you see, I started my journey in Egypt. That's where I was born, and then I moved to America at a very young age. Now, my family wasn't always the richest family ever. They didn't have the most money, but it was just enough to get by. And I know a lot of you guys can relate to that. Growing up in a household, you know, parents want you to go to college and all sorts of stuff like that. Now, my journey really started in school at the age of 15. I quickly realized how much I dreaded school and the entire modern day education system. I made it my goal to become financially independent before high school is over. As you guys can see in the screenshot, I had $5 in my bank account. So I started doing graphic design for people on Twitter, and I stayed pretty consistent with it. And I was doing like thumbnails and all sorts of types of stuff for YouTubers. I would go on Twitter and just spam people in their comments saying, hey, do you need thumbnails? Hey, do you need this? Until eventually some people would respond to me and I would make them little thumbnails and stuff like that. And after around 1 month, I had grew my bank account to over $2,000 at the age of 15. Now, you might not think $2,000 is a lot, but at 15, this was insane to me. I felt like, wow, $2,000 online without working a job or doing chores, it felt like literal heaven. And it was right then and there I knew I would never want to go to college, and I knew I could make money online. And with that money, I upgraded my setup like any teenager would. And I continued to grow this so-called business until the age of about 16. But I slowly realized that this business was not going to take me to my goal of $10,000 a month. And the reason that was yes, I had a good month at $2,000 in my first month, but after that it started to slow down and I would only peak at about $2,500 to $3,000 a month, which is still good at 15, but I wanted more. I was more ambitious than just $3,000. You know, I knew I wanted to hit a 10K month mark. So with that, I started a gaming YouTube channel and it actually starts to get some decent views. But if you know YouTube, gaming channels are terrible when it comes to making money. And just to let y'all know, I was the biggest gaming addict of all time. You know, I was playing from sunrise to sundown. I was playing the game all day and I really wanted to make a career out of being a gamer. I wanted to be a YouTuber that played games all day, but I kept grinding for years upon years. I grind for like 2.5, 3 years straight, and that was just on one channel. Let's not talk about the hundreds of other channels I started in the past. But I just couldn't make any money at all because the CPMs were horrible. You couldn't get many money off of it, and in life you need money to sustain and live. So after constantly trying for years and years, I finally decided to just quit and start a new business model. So I gave everything a try again at the age of 17, where I started my clothing brand. Now the reason why I'm going over all of this is just so you guys can see, like, damn, I'm a human too. You know, I'm not somebody special. I came from a normal background like most of you guys. The issue is a lot of you guys, when you're trying to make money, is you look up to these influencers and all these people with money like they're some sort of superhuman, but they're not. They're humans just like you. We have brains, we have hearts, we have everything just like you. So don't think it's impossible, because it's very possible if you just put in the work, because everybody started from zero. Everybody starts from somewhere. And that's the reason why I'm going over all of this, just so you guys can understand that. Now, by this point, I had just graduated high school and I had around 2 months left until college was going to start. And let me tell you, I was going to do everything in my power to not go to college. So with that in my head, I began working on my clothing brand, determined to not go to college. And that's where I got in the lab and started creating my first design. As y'all can see, we was on the iPad sketching the first logo and design and etc. And after some time, I created my first ever shirts using the money I had saved up for my 9-to-5. So if I didn't mention this already, yes, I was making money online doing the thumbnail designing, but I still ended up working a 9-to-5 to make a little bit of extra money as well, because I low-key had blew majority of the money from the designing, I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger. And let me tell you something, I hated that 9-to-5 with all my life. I used to go in there dreading every time I wanted to go work. You know that feeling when you're just working for someone and you know you should not be there, like, damn, why am I doing this job right now? That's how I felt every single time, because I worked in a restaurant. So I'd come back home smelling like food and all that, and I'd just be like, damn, bro, is this really what I'm gonna keep doing for the rest of my life? So I had pretty bad options to start. So I got these shirts from my brand using the money I saved up from my 9-to-5, but I ran into a huge issue. Half of the shirts had these stains on them that ruined the shirts. And you probably thinking just wash them out. Well, you can't, because then the product's going to be defective and it's going to be look used. So when the customer gets it, they're going to complain and just refund anyways. So I was in a very bad predicament. One, I had no money anyways, right? This was my last amount of money that I had put into these shirts, and half of them were stained, so I couldn't even sell them. And nobody told me there were such things as inventory issues. Now, keep in mind, I am broke and I cannot afford to lose money, like I said. And the worst part about this was the manufacturer would not refund me. I sent them countless emails and they just wouldn't respond. I ended up losing $300 on this drop, which hurt me so bad and put me in a bigger hole. Now, by this point, I was still working my 9-to-5, but I had to put more hours in to save my money back that I had just lost. And life started to get a little dark at this point, because I was like, why am I investing into this? And I feel like I'm just not going to make it. It's already starting horrible and it's already on a bad route. But eventually I saved up more money from my 9-to-5 and invested into my next product. As y'all can see, I had some full zips right there on the left. And I was actually kind of proud of this product at the time, because this was my first piece that I actually went to a manufacturer overseas with. I pushed so much marketing behind this product and I made sure this product was going to blow me up. I finally dropped the item and I only did $300 in sales. Now the profit on this was probably even worse. I felt heartbroken because I did not know what I was doing wrong. I was struggling to get my clothing brand to work and I had no guidance and I just felt lost. And with college right around the corner, it was not looking good for me. But I reminded myself that it wasn't over. There was still hope to at least drop out of college in freshman year. So yet again, I hit the drawing board and I started creating a new design once again. But this time I actually took my time and I started studying the market. I studied what was working and how I could implement it into my design. And with that, we had our third product. And this time I was confident that I cooked something. Now, this time with this product, I was studying. I was making sure this product was going to at least make me some sort of profit. Because like I said, I'm in a tough spot right now where I barely have any money. I'm working a job that I hate, and now I'm in college by this point. So I studied marketing even more, and I started to slowly realize what the winning formula was to go viral. As y'all can see, that video hit 100K views for me. That was one of my first viral videos. And eventually, after being consistent, I had my breakout moment that changed my life forever. Now, that video right there single-handedly changed my life because it went viral and people actually liked the product and they actually wanted to buy the product. And my views started skyrocketing on TikTok, and so did my sales. I even have a video on my channel the moment it all happened. Now, at the end of this drop, we did around $30,000 overall. Also, as well, if you guys want to watch that video, it's on my channel, like I said. Y'all can go watch my reaction to my first viral drop. And with that, I took this picture with the orders as an accolade. And I always seen other brand owners post pictures like these. And I always thought, man, this is one of the coolest pictures ever. I wish I could do this one day. And now I have like hundreds of these pictures in my camera roll. Every time I get like a big load of packages I'm packaging, I'll just take a picture. And I take that picture to remind myself like, damn, this is what I wanted at one point. This is what I dreamed of at one point. But I did not get comfortable here. The mission was not over. I doubled down on what was working and I kept going. Eventually we hit 100K with the brand and the momentum only kept going up from there. I wanted more. I wanted consistent 50K plus months. And so we did hit those 50K plus months. I'm telling you, by this point, I was locked in on the grind. I was making sure that I'm not going to let my foot off the gas at all. And with that, I was able to finally drop out of college, which was when it started to take off even faster. And with that, I finally started experiencing what freedom felt like. And freedom is nice because you can decide how you want your life to go. You know, whether that's traveling whenever you want, and you don't have to clock into a job or anything like that, or go to school or be anywhere on time. You can live your life the way you want it to be. Now, how does this all even work? How can you, yes you, start your own clothing brand, aka the ATL Money Glitch? You see, the traditional route of starting a clothing brand is just to be an influencer and get your audience to buy your product. But as we all know, not all of us can be influencers. And I for sure was not an influencer when I started. So I created the ATL Glitch clothing brand framework, and this is how it goes. And the framework is very simple. You build your identity, which is your brand name, your logo, your slogan, all that, which is very simple. Then you move on to the foundation, which is basically setting up your email stuff, your website, all that stuff. Then the next step is to make a viral product like how I did, because as you notice, my first products were trash. But once I learned the viral product framework, it's a very certain framework you have to follow for it. Once I learned that framework and my product went viral, everything took off from there. And in my opinion, this is the most important step in the entire framework. Next, once you have a viral product, you need to get traffic to that viral product. Now, traffic is just basically getting people to come to your website and actually buy the product pretty much. And the final step is execution. How you execute, how you do the drop day. How do you get people to fall in love with your brand and come back and buy from you again and again? How do you do customer support? How do you execute everything? And y'all can see, print out money and then repeat the process back at the viral product. Because once you set up the first two, identity and foundation, you're not going to do those again. So it's just a repeat cycle from viral product, traffic, execution. And this is the other framework, which is being an influencer and then just cashing out. And this may look like an easier route, but this is the 100 times harder way because it is super hard to build an audience. And like I said, not everybody has the influencer in them and can build an audience. Now, if you feel like you can be an influencer, go right ahead. You feel me? I would want you to go do that. But like I said, the average person cannot do it. And for sure, I was not an influencer either. So I'm going over the method that I used. So let me show you exactly how you're going to do this. So step one is brand identity. And the framework for building brand identity is simple. It's just building your name, your logo, and your niche. Now with your name and stuff like that, it's very simple. You guys can come up with that. I know you probably have names already in mind. And with your logo, you just need your logo to match your name. Now, niche selection. This is the third part about brand identity. You need to know who your target customer is and who you're selling to, because you cannot be making emo related clothing and then sell it to people who wear skinny jeans and stuff like that. You need to know the type of clothing you're going to make, and you need to know the audience you're going to sell to, and they have to align. Now, the second step is foundation. And foundation is all about having a good converting website. And as you guys can see for one of our brands, Angelic Motion, you can see how the product layout is, and the website just looks clean overall. And having a clean website is so important, because if you have a clanky website that looks trash, people are going to think your brand is a scam. So having a good website is very important. Now, the next step is product creation. And the product creation framework is very simple. You see the magnifying glass? We start with research. Now you have to research the market and see what's trending with clothing brands, what style of clothing is trending, what materials are trending and stuff like that, and use that to build your own piece. This is probably the most important step in creating a product, because you have to understand what the market wants. And this is very simple. You could just use TikTok and start scrolling and seeing what's kind of trending and what's kind of hot at the moment. Then the next step is hiring a designer. Now you can design yourself if you have the design skills, but for me personally, I always hired a designer because they can do it better. And this is not a huge investment, you know, it's a very small investment to get a designer to create fire pieces for you. Now, after that, you need to find a manufacturer who can make your product. And this might be arguably the hardest part for a clothing brand for most people. Finding a good, reliable manufacturer that can create your product the way you want it and at a good price. And going back to having a product design, one design can change your life. I'm still selling this same design I made from 2 years ago. And this design is still raking in almost 100K plus a month just off this design alone. And I've been selling it for 2 years. So that just goes to show, if you invest like $50, $100 in one good design, it can last you years and make you tons of money. Now with manufacturing, I'm gonna give you guys a little tip. You can go on the app Alibaba and use something called an RFQ. This is where you simply submit your product details and quantity requirements through an RFQ form. Alibaba spreads the words to tons of manufacturers who then send you their offers. And you can filter these offers based on quality and price and give you a personalized selection of potential partners all in one place. To sum it up, you can just post on the Alibaba app and manufacturers will DM you first. But then again, you're not guaranteed to get a good manufacturer off the rip. You might have to test multiple. And now the third step is traffic. Time to bring people to your website and product. And the framework for traffic is simple: organic traffic, paid traffic, and returning traffic. With organic traffic, you want to utilize short form apps like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. These apps have such a huge organic reach, and when you master the content, you can bring tons of organic traffic. And my student Matt, who is 13 years old, used organic traffic to do $30,000 his first job. Matt is literally 13 years old and he made $30K his first job. Now, if that isn't inspirational and motivational, then I don't know what is, because that's showing you right there, if a 13-year-old can do it, then you can do it as well. Now, paid traffic is when you are running ads and paying to get people on your website. So like I just mentioned, organic traffic with just TikTok, Instagram Reels, stuff like that is free content you can put out, and that's going to bring people to your website for free because you're not paying to push that video out. But with ads, you're paying to get views pretty much. And I like ads because they're a lot more consistent than organic for sure, but organic has the better profit margin. And for ads, you're going to utilize TikTok and Facebook ads. And I've done over $500,000 alone just off TikTok ads, not even Facebook. And my student Sin ran Facebook ads and was able to be on track to make 30K in a month. And y'all can see right there in the screenshot, he did 8K in a week, and he explains on the left how he started running the ads with my videos. And Sin is also 20 years old. Now the last step is execution. This is where you're going to use something called the pre-order method. And the pre-order method is very simple. Now, before I go into the pre-order method, you have your product, you have your logo, you have your everything set up. You know your marketing plan. Now you need to figure out how you're going to get the inventory for your brand, because inventory can be super expensive. And that's where the pre-order method comes in play. So the way it works is when you order your sample from your manufacturer, you get your sample, you're going to promote that sample everywhere. That's going to be your marketing piece. And when it's time to drop, you're going to put that sample picture on the website and drop. Now, you're not going to have the inventory on hand because you can't afford it, right? It's very expensive. So when you're marketing this sample and you drop, all the money you get from that, and this is going to be why it's called a pre-order, all the money you get from that, you're going to use that money to buy the bulk order. So basically, you're just taking the money in first and then using that money to buy the orders. Now, the only downside to this is you're going to have a little bit of a slower shipping time for customers, but if you communicate it well with them, it shouldn't be a problem. And I still do pre-orders till this day because it's just way more efficient for scaling. Now, in the future, of course, when you have a ton of capital, you definitely want to switch to pre-made for more returning customers. But the pre-order is really good and really effective because you don't need money up front, which is why I love the pre-order method, because anybody who doesn't have that much money can get into it. And this is the same method Angelic Motion used to make 300K in a month with his brand. 300K in a month at 19 years old is insane. And that's why I said the pre-order method is so powerful, because you can scale infinitely. Now let's break down the numbers. 5 sales a day at $68 equals $10,200 a month. All you need is 5 sales per day at $68. And that's the average hoodie price now in this market, you know, 68. I think honestly it's $80 to $100, but I'm doing $68 because if you're starting out, you don't really want to charge crazy amounts. So the question becomes, how can you start getting results like this? And as you guys can see, my brand, other brands, students, and etc. Well, option 1 is you can utilize the information I gave you today to figure it out by yourself. And you could do that option. It's definitely possible, but beware, because you will lose some valuable months or even years trying to figure it out on your own. And long term, it'll be so much more expensive from all the mistakes you're going to make. And your chances of quitting go way up when you're stuck. Or you could join Brand Discovery, a program where I hold you by the hand and show you everything you need to go from $0 to $10,000 a month with your clothing brand in record time. Now that's your second option, joining the program with the most success stories in the entire industry. And every single success story or result you have seen in this video has went through the Brand Discovery program. They have all been my students. And this is a program where we take complete beginners and help you create your own clothing brand from scratch, scale it with our organic and paid traffic strategies, and give you our plug and play systems to implement into your brand so you can get money ASAP. And when you have experts guiding you and holding your hand throughout the process, you end up saving so much more money long term because you aren't losing that money making those mistakes. And it's also way more enjoyable and fun this way. So let's take a look what's inside Brand Discovery. Brand Discovery has hours and hours of content that goes in depth on starting a brand and scaling it, taught by leading industry experts. It's basically a plug and play system for your brand. We cover in detail how to set up your brand, create a winning product, create a foundation, get sales, and scale. This program has everything covered you need. Now, in order for this to be as easy and seamless as possible, we decided to give you ready-to-go templates for the most time-consuming parts and important parts of your brand. And this includes optimized ready-to-go website templates. These are the same website templates that me and other brand owners use that are already made for you, done for free inside of the program. Now, we've spent over $10,000 on this website template alone, because if you're going to go out there and make websites yourself and get a good converting website, you're going to spend over $5 to $10K. But when you join Brand Discovery, you get our website templates that we currently use for free. You get plug and play documents with scripts, sheets, examples of our best ads, and more. Now, the biggest issue with courses is a student goes through the course, has questions, and then nobody's there to answer those questions, so they end up quitting. So with that in mind, we added this. So with this, you're going to get access to 4 weekly calls, one with me, one with Jar, and 2 of my 6-figure coaches. Now, Jar is a 7-figure brand owner that does 300K plus per month, and we host calls every single week, 4 times a week. So you can join these calls when we're hosting them, and just ask any questions you have, or you can have us review your stuff and go over all your stuff in your brand. You're going to be able to talk to us directly and get all the answers you need, so you're never stuck feeling like you don't know the answer to something, because you have the experts you can just ask. This alone is worth $2,000 plus, because I don't even know about Jar in them, but I know for myself, I charge $2,000 an hour just to get on the phone with me and talk and ask questions, and you're going to get that for free inside of the program. Now, if that wasn't enough, check this out. The biggest thing people struggle with is motivation and just feeling like they need to stay on track. So I've decided when you join through this video today, you're going to get access to a one-on-one coach, and you could book a call in anytime with this one-on-one coach and get all your questions answered or get some motivation and come up with a game plan for your brand. And these coaches are not cheap, by the way. I pay these coaches tons of money, because these are not any random coaches. These are 6- and 7-figure brand owners that are going to hop on the call with you one-on-one and coach you. So y'all can imagine, if they're making all this money from their brand, it's going to cost a lot of money out of pocket for me to even get them interested in doing this. I only hire the best of the best talent to do one-on-one coaching. Now, my favorite part of the program is the community, hands down. This is where you can ask questions and get them answered 24/7, grind with people who have the same goal as you, learn from others, and celebrate your wins. Because we all know if you're grinding with other people around you that have the same goal, you're going to perform way better, because you're going to feel motivated to just keep achieving more and more. And I love the celebrate your wins part, because this is where when someone gets a win, they post it in the chat, we all celebrate together like it's a brotherhood, a family. And you can also ask questions in the chat if there isn't a call available at the moment. So you're never without being able to get your question answered, whether that's the 4 weekly calls, the one-on-one coach, and now you have the chat as well, where you can also network with other students. So look, here's what you get today when you join the Brand Discovery program. You get access to the Brand Discovery program, which is a course with tons and tons of videos that explain the entire framework in depth. You get websites, manufacturers, templates, ads, tools, and more. You get access to websites, our personal manufacturers. Also, I forgot to mention with the tools and stuff like that, you're going to get access to our personal manufacturers. So you don't have to go searching for random manufacturers and spend tons of money on samples and mistakes and stuff like that. You could just work with ours directly. So here's what you get today with the Brand Discovery program. You get access to the Brand Discovery program, which is a course with tons and tons of videos, websites, manufacturers, templates, winning ads, tools, and more. Access to the exclusive private network, a one-on-one 6- or 7-figure coach, and 4 weekly live calls with me and 7-figure brand owners. Now, you have to be able to be willing to put in the work still, because we're giving you the help, we're offering you all the knowledge and etc., but you still have to put in the work. So on average, typically with students who actually put in the work, in about 90 days is when they start getting their results, just like my student Ryan I mentioned earlier. And at the moment, I don't know when I'm going to change this, but at the moment, it's currently lifetime access. So when you join today, you're going to get access to the coaching for life. It's not a subscription. You just pay one time and you get access to those 4 weekly calls, the one-on-one coach, the website tools, all that for lifetime. But we are changing this very soon, because this is kind of a sweet deal to do lifetime access. So it could be changed in a few days, a week, a month. I don't know yet. We're going to change it very soon though. And like I said, since this is a very exclusive program, y'all have never seen me mention this before, but it's been open for about a year. And I've never mentioned it before is because we close down the program constantly. We know that we can only cater to a certain amount of students and help guarantee them their results. So we don't want a ton of students inside, because then we can't help everybody. So if you see the program open, then you're lucky, because we haven't closed it down yet. That's why I say action takers, makers make the most in life. Any of that wasn't convincing and you still don't feel like it's the right option for you, well, I'm going to offer this, a money back guarantee. Inside of the program, if you don't get any results within the first 90 days, we will 100% refund you all your money. So you walk away with all the knowledge, the tools, everything for free, and you get your money back in your pocket. Now, you have to apply everything inside the program for this to work, because you cannot join and do nothing at all and then expect a refund, you know? Wasting your time and you're wasting our time. So if you apply everything and you don't get any results, we will refund you your money back. So if you're ready to take the next step in life and finally achieve that dream lifestyle you've always been wanting, make sure to click the first link down below, or it'll also be the pinned comment. And that's where you can join Brand Discovery today. Now, if you had questions that didn't get answered in this video, or if you have any issues with payments, if you want payment plans, etc., stuff like that, then make sure to book a call at the bottom of the page, and you can talk to one of my student success managers and they'll help answer your questions for free and basically tell you everything about the program, or if you want to use payment plans and stuff like that. So yeah, that is the ATL money glitch revealed. Just starting a clothing brand. That's what all these influencers are doing. That's what they're pretty much making all their money off, and that's what I made my money off of. How I bought my dream car, how I took my family on vacations, and all that type of stuff. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. When you're ready to join Brand Discovery, the link is down below. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video.